Well, I am late to the game on this fine Friday night. Or morning, not night. Well, it's Halloween. It's a Friday night too, so I don't know how wild it's going to be around the neighborhoods. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not doing anything Halloweeny. I'm just gonna, I don't know. I don't really want to do anything, but I don't like staying at my house on Halloween either. But then I'll have Jack, so chances are I'm probably not going to go anywhere, so I'm not really going to trip on it, But anyway, good morning. I already made a part 2 for yesterday, kind of talking about yesterday. Yeah, today's the last day of October, everybody, obviously, because it's Halloween, so, yeah, it's, fuck, man. So, instead of talking, I talked about work. Yesterday, work was fine. It was cool. It was chill. We all have a good time. We all make it fun while we're there. We all make it fun for each other while we're there, but still getting our stuff done. But I'm by myself one more time. And pretty much once Christina goes, like I said, whenever they move her, I'll already be ready to straight up be ready to be out the door and whatnot, so then I can, be on my own at that point. So then when Christina goes, I'm not going to be freaked out, of any kind. But yeah, other than that, I got all the rooms down at this point. It's just pretty much just the keys that I have to get used to getting in and out. And I got to do it. I'm doing it even when Christina is working with me, so then I don't have to ask her for her keys every time. But yeah, the keys, man, that's going to be a trip to get used to, because they had the keys so cluttered together with each other, and it's just like kind of a mess, low-key. So I'm gonna try to be on top of that a little bit, so just a little bit with getting used to it. And Christina said she'll help me out with the keys, because I told her I might need a bit to get used to that a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. When I went to church yesterday, that chair was fucking hurting my rear, man. I gotta stop sitting in those chairs, because those bitches hurt. They have these folding chairs, man, and they fucking hurt every single time I sit on one of them. But yeah, work, it was cool. So I pretty much, like I said, made a part 2 talking about yesterday and how that went. So, what? I said that because their light turned green, and I've been sitting at a red for not long, but it was a red by the time I got here. So I'm like, what? But it wasn't very long, so. It says I'm not going to arrive till 5:57. At this point, I don't even care. I'll get there when I fucking get there. Supposedly, they'll take you even if you're a minute late. But I could give a shit less. You know what I mean? Like, if you clock in at 6:01, you know what? At least I'm fucking there. We don't get ready to do stuff until like 10, 15 minutes later. Both in hospital and out. So there's no reason to fucking whine about it and write people up about it and try to get them fired over it. You know what I mean? So it's, speaking of which, I'm actually gonna try to pick up the pace a little bit, because I don't really want to arrive late. I'll try not to arrive late, but basically I don't sweat it if I'm late. I don't sweat it if I'm late, only because you can't fucking snap your fingers and get there. You get there when you get there. What's the point of tripping over it? You know what I mean? It's different if I'm 5 minutes late or 8 minutes late. Then I apologize about being late. I told Felicia one time I was like 8 minutes late because it was the stupid freeway thing. You know, the whole thing with the freeway, why I won't go to the freeway. I was like 8 minutes late. You know, I got there at 5:50 or 7:20 something, and it said I wasn't going to clock in until 7:27. Or, I mean, get in the parking lot. But then I couldn't find any fucking parking for like almost 10 minutes. So I apologized to them. I'm like, sorry, there was a bit of traffic, and because they know I drive and I live like a fat minute away, so it's just like, okay, here when I fucking can. And they don't really ever give me any grief about it. They're not like, you're a minute late. No, they never really give me any grief about it. So it's nice, you know, it's nice that they're not giving me shit about it. I'm trying to get there a little faster, but I don't want to go too fast because I don't want to get pulled over. Really, I don't. This is a morning where I am not really in the mood to get pulled over. Yeah, there was really no point of leaving my lane, but alright. But anyway, yeah, church was pretty cool yesterday. I'm really happy for Matt's dad and Matt's sister, you know, for really liking our church, you know. Since Charlie Kirk got shot, that's what inspired him to come to church, was the day Charlie Kirk died. It really kind of hit him hard, you know. People are wrong. I mean, people are wrong about Charlie Kirk to disagree with that guy, you know. I'm still to this day kind of like, man. But I think it was sadly meant to happen for a reason, you know. So, and clearly it did, because Matt's dad is now sober, I think. And, yeah, he goes to our church, which I never took him as a church guy. I didn't think he ever really would. But, you know, he loves it. He's a happy guy now. You know, he's not... You know, because he used to really, like, be kind of miserable, and it was really hard to really like him. You know, I really didn't know what to think about him. But now he interacts with me a lot. You know, we get along like we're buds. You know, it's just like, you know, his daughter enjoys being there, which is Justin's sister. You know, so I'm really happy that they like it. I told Matt that. I was like, I'm really glad you guys are sticking with it, man. You know, it's... You know, I'm glad you guys are doing a lot better, you know. For real, you know. Matt really liked the class. He bought that book for me, you know. I owe Ray and them $10, you know. But yeah, fucking Matt bought the book for me, you know. Matt's doing it, man. Matt's doing better than me, that's for sure. Because I still haven't paid them for my biblical citizenship book, and I really don't want to pay them for it because I don't want the book. Really, I really don't want it. But you know, you know, it's just like people really have to know these things about the constitutional right, and people really have to know these things, you know, how the Bible and God fits in all this stuff. You know what I mean? Because the government is really trying to push all that shit off and away. They really are. They really are trying to push all that stuff. I don't know how schools are now. I don't even know if schools are still pledging allegiance. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, it's always been a thing with God when it came to running this country, and they're trying to fuck that up. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. I hate talking about God and cussing at the same time, but it's true. You know what I mean? It's true. You know, tonight being Halloween and all that, or today being Halloween and all that, there are people, sick motherfuckers on TikTok, who are literally trying to dress up as Charlie Kirk with a bullet wound in his neck. And it's just like, y'all are fucking sick. Don't let me catch you on the street, that's for sure. You know, don't let me catch you on the street, because, woo-wee. I mean, it's not really I think it's more, obviously, it's more of a joke thing. And I'm kidding. But for real, though, like, it's sad, you know what I mean? It's really sad, you know, that people think, oh, let's buy a Freedom shirt just to pour some blood on it, make a fake wound, and play dead, you know, and play a real dead guy, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man, have some fucking common sense, you know what I mean? These bitches be mad, and they don't know what the fuck they be mad about. You know what I mean? You know, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5, but they wanted to equal 5 so fucking bad for some reason. Yeah, 2 + 2 needs to equal 5. That's their fucking rules. 2 + 2 needs to equal 5. You know? They don't want to hear that 4, it's 4, because 4, you know, that 4 is the real number, but somehow they want 2 + 2 = 5, you know? People are ass backwards, man. And it's really sad, you know, so. Still gonna arrive at 5:50 fucking 7. Did I grab my wallet at least? Okay, I did. I was like, oh fuck, did I even grab that? I need that. You know, it was just like, oh no. But yeah, I have that. So, but yeah, the week is almost over. I didn't have any chance to play The Last of Us 2 yesterday. Literally, I got home at like 8:15. And I just fucking wanted to go to bed already. I was just tired. I went to bed. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock. I slept pretty good, but then I kept having to toss and turn because my ass hurts. No, sorry, but it's true. You know, that's what I'm dealing with. It's that chair. It's the folding chairs that they have, man. Those bitches really hurt, man. They really freaking hurt. And I gotta stop sitting on those, you know. I think I might either just stand or just crouch or sit on their couch or something. Shut up. I know the motherfucker's breaking car. I mean, I love my car for telling me that, but that fucking scares me when that comes out, because it's just like, whoa. Because I wasn't even going to hit the guy. You know what I mean? I wasn't even going to hit him. He was just braking. But the car's, you got to love a car that gives you warnings. You got to love a car that gives you warnings. So, I say shut up just out of reaction, but at the same time, it's just like, bro. Oh, man, come on. Do I want to? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go join them. That's a cop right there. That is a police officer. I just did that in front of a cop. Whoops. Well, at least the cop don't care. Yeah, I'm just going up this road right here. Yeah, because it's a stop. No point in waiting if I could just go. So, yeah, I haven't drove up this road in a while. My barbershop used to be right here, the King's Barbershop. Right on whatever this is, Mountain Highway. But yeah, man, you know, that's what it is, man. It's just, yeah, after Halloween, over the weekend, they don't want to do it on the weekend. I wonder what the situation is at the motorcycle shop, you know, the Honda motorcycle shop. I'm in Spanaway, So the motorcycle shop right here, there's no motorcycles in it. And they haven't had motorcycles. It's like, are they shut down? Are they renovating the place? What are they doing? Because I really like that shop. It was a cool shop. I've always passed by that shop. I used to go in the motorcycle shop with my buddies. Man, I wanted a fucking dirt bike so bad when I was a kid. And then I finally did have one, but my dad never let me drive it because the chain broke and he never replaced it. Sorry, Dad, but it's true. You know, you didn't really make an effort to really, but he knows that. He owns up to it. You know, he had a small chopper, a little low chopper bike, which he would not let me ride that. Which I guess I get it that it was a really big bike, but he wouldn't let me ride that. And then the motorcycle, or the dirt bike, I think it was like a 50cc, so it wasn't all that fast, you know. But it was a dirt bike, so I was just happy about that. But then, yeah, Dad bought it for like $50, which, man, that was awesome. But he never let me ride it. He never got the chain fixed and never let me ride the thing. And it just sat there under a tarp for a long time. But I wasn't a big fan of the bike either, because it was, instead of one of the ones where you have to like crank it, you know, where you crank the little thing with your foot, you have to pull it like a chainsaw and a lawnmower, and I didn't like that. I really didn't like that, honestly. But a dirt bike was a dirt bike. I would have still rode it anyway, you know, but I was never really in effort to ride it either, so, you know, that was my bad. But I'm gonna get a dirt bike at some point. I just need to get my shit paid down, you know. Need to work on it, because like I said, yesterday I almost bought Spider-Man 2, and I can't be doing that. I can't be fucking doing that anymore. I can't be doing that, man. I can't. You know what I mean? I can't be doing that. So it's just like, you know, still gonna get there by 5:57, man. That's so annoying. Like, dude, come on. Well, I mean, they had enough time to do it. But yeah, after Halloween, we're setting up the Christmas stuff during the week. So Christmas videos are coming soon, and yeah, you know, I'm going to be doing Christmas shorts. I like to do Christmas tree shorts, and, you know, every year I'm like, bam, tree up, another year, house tour of the house with all the Christmas shit, even though the shit's always the same every year. We have, my grandma's Christmas stuff is so ancient, honestly. It's so ancient. All the stuff we have is pretty much everything my grandma's had my whole life. You know what I mean? And she had a lot of cool shit too, which I feel bad because I broke some of it. I used to have a thing for snow globes. So, you know, I mean, it was just cool looking at them. And my grandma had a ton of Mickey Mouse snow globes, and I feel so bad for it now, but I fucking would break them. And I was just like, oh, man. And my grandma would get so mad about that. It's true. You know, it's just like, I'd be mad too, man. Fuck. You know what I mean? I'd be mad too. But, yeah, man, that was a bitch, man. You know, I was just like, come on, dude. Did I really have to do it? But I was a kid. I didn't know no better at the time. But yeah, you know, so I never really noticed this red light on my door. It's like a little red dot. I don't know. I think that means it's locked. It's kind of cool. But yeah, so I wonder if it flashes green if I unlock it. That'd be kind of rad. I never noticed that before. That's new to me. Yeah, but yeah, so Christmas videos coming up, of course. I have all the holidays off, hopefully. Because my building closes on the holidays, that's what Christina told me, that we actually get the holidays off. So that's even more so why I'm like, just keep me out of the hospital. Don't even ask me to work in the hospital anymore, because it's just like, just keep me at Winder. And then, you know, yeah, keep me off on the holidays. You know, I like working on places that keep me off on holidays, because Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving, personally, I like those days off. that's why I'm trying to jump to jobs that already take them off and out. Because I think if I was still dining hall, they probably would have made me work those holidays. And I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that, honestly. Yeah, those are jobs I do not, or days I do not want to work at all. So, you know. But a hospital, you got to keep it running and you need people to clean. So it's just like, it makes sense at the same time, you know. But the building I'm at is closed, which is why I say it's good. Because if the building's closed, then hey, you know what I mean? Clean up Christmas Eve, clean up the day before Thanksgiving, clean up the day before November 11th, clean up the day before Christmas. You know, I work Christmas Eve, but I'm off Christmas. Which would make sense too, you know, for day off and whatnot. Christmas Eve, you know, it's Christmas Eve. It's nothing major. But yeah, so 5:56. Perfect. A minute less. Usually it's just saying to drive up to the building, it's like 5:56, but I usually park at like 5:54, 5:55. It's just more of an eyesore seeing that every time. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Yeah, Christmas stuff coming soon. Goodbye, October. Hope y'all have a good night. Hopefully no weirdos try to sacrifice people, because there are some sick motherfuckers who actually do that on Halloween night, which is why I don't like Halloween. I think it's really sick that people would do that type of cultish shit. You know what I mean? Satanic stuff. You know, rituals and shit like that. It makes me sick. I spit on you. I spit on you. You know what I mean? You know, it makes me sick when people do that shit. Witchcraft, warlock stuff, you know, and it makes me sick. Hence why I don't like Harry Potter at all. And, you know, stuff like that. Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. I won't watch shit like that because a lot of it involves witchcraft and stuff like that. And they're just movies. But still, you know, it's just like the principle of that, you know. But yeah, if you're a sick fuck who does witchcraft and shit like that, then, you know, I spit on you. But anyway, yeah, y'all have a good night, good day, good weekend, good night. And I hope October went well for y'all. And it's time to have a happy, lappy, grandpappy, happy holiday. But anyway, bye for now.